Football has always been a game of surprises. Every 4 years, the FIFA World Cup brings together the greatest teams on earth. Fans expect the giants to dominate, but sometimes the impossible happens. Unknown underdogs defeat football's biggest powers, creating moments that are remembered forever. Today, we're counting down the 10 biggest FIFA World Cup upsets that shocked the entire world. These matches weren't simply unexpected victories. They changed football history forever. Our rankings are based on how unlikely the result was, the difference in quality between the teams, and the lasting impact each match had on the World Cup. Number 10. North Korea vs. Italy, 1966. Italy arrived in England as one of the strongest teams in world football. They had experienced players, a proud football tradition, and were expected to reach the later stages of the tournament with ease. Their opponents, North Korea, were making their very first FIFA World Cup appearance. Almost everyone believed this match would be a comfortable Italian victory. But football had a different story to tell. In the 42nd minute, Pak Duik scored the only goal of the match. The stadium fell silent as Italy struggled to respond. When the final whistle blew, one of the biggest shocks in football history had been confirmed. Italy's early elimination stunned football fans around the world. Newspapers called it one of the greatest surprises the sport had ever seen. North Korea's incredible victory proved that determination and belief could overcome even the strongest opponents. As unbelievable as that victory was, another underdog would later shock the defending world champions themselves. Number 9. Bulgaria vs. Germany, 1994. Germany entered the tournament as the defending world champions and one of the favorites to lift the trophy once again. Bulgaria, despite having talented players, were not expected to eliminate one of football's greatest nations in the quarterfinals. Germany took the lead through a penalty and looked ready to continue their march toward another title. But Bulgaria refused to give up. First came a brilliant free kick from Hristo Stoichkov. Just minutes later, Yordan Lechkov scored a dramatic header. Germany were out, and Bulgaria had completed one of the greatest comebacks in World Cup history. Germany's defeat showed that defending champions could be beaten. But just 8 years later, another reigning world champion would suffer an even more shocking fate. This time, the football world was left speechless before the tournament had barely begun. Number 8. Senegal vs. France, 2002. France arrived in South Korea and Japan as the defending world champions and European champions. Their squad was filled with some of the best players in the world, and many believed they would comfortably defend their title. Senegal, on the other hand, was making its very first appearance at a FIFA World Cup. Almost no one expected them to challenge the mighty French team. From the opening whistle, Senegal played with fearless confidence. Just before halftime, Papa Bouba Diop found the ball inside the penalty area and calmly scored. The underdogs took the lead, and despite France's desperate attempts to equalize, Senegal defended brilliantly until the final whistle. The victory shocked millions of football fans around the world. France failed to score a single goal during the entire group stage and were eliminated before the knockout rounds. Senegal's unforgettable debut reminded everyone that no champion is unbeatable. Senegal's victory inspired football fans across Africa, but 20 years earlier, another African nation had already shown the world that the impossible could become reality. Number 7. Algeria vs. West Germany, 1982. West Germany entered the tournament as one of the strongest teams in world football. They had reached multiple World Cup finals and were expected to defeat Algeria without much trouble. Algeria was making only its first World Cup appearance, and many believed the match would be an easy victory for the Germans. Instead, Algeria produced one of the greatest performances in their history. Rabah Majir gave Algeria the lead, and although West Germany fought back to equalize, Algeria refused to surrender. Lakhdar Belloumi scored again, securing a stunning 2-1 victory that shocked the football world. Algeria's victory became one of the greatest moments in African football history. Although they were later eliminated under controversial circumstances after the famous disgrace of Dijon, their victory over West Germany proved that courage and belief could defeat even the biggest football giants. But if you thought that was unbelievable, The next story features a team that defeated the defending world champions in the opening match of the tournament and announced themselves to the world in unforgettable fashion. Algeria had shown that giants could fall, but in 1990, the defending world champions would suffer an even greater humiliation. On opening night, millions expected Argentina to begin their title defense with an easy victory. Instead, the football world witnessed one of the greatest opening match shocks in World Cup history. Number 6. Cameroon vs. Argentina, 1990. Argentina entered the tournament as the defending world champions, led by one of football's greatest legends, Diego Maradona. Most experts expected Argentina to challenge for another title. Cameroon, making only their second World Cup appearance, were respected but given very little chance against the reigning champions. Cameroon defended with incredible discipline and refused to be intimidated. Then, midway through the second half, Francois Omambiak rose above the Argentine defense and headed the ball toward goal. Goalkeeper Neri Pompito got a hand to it, but the ball slipped through and crossed the line. Cameroon had taken the lead. Despite finishing the match with only 9 players after 2 red cards, Cameroon held on for a famous 1-0 victory. The result stunned millions of fans and inspired African football like never before. Cameroon would go on to reach the quarterfinals, becoming the first African nation to achieve that remarkable feat. Cameroon's victory became one of the greatest opening night surprises ever. But 12 years later, another underdog would eliminate one of football's biggest powers in a match still debated by fans around the world. Number 5. South Korea vs. Italy. 2002, Italy arrived with one of the strongest squads in the tournament and were expected to progress comfortably. South Korea, playing on home soil, had already impressed during the group stage, but few believed they could eliminate one of football's traditional giants in the round of 16. Italy struck first and looked in control, but South Korea refused to give up. As the match wore on, the hosts equalized and forced extra time. Then, in the 117th minute, An Young-swan rose above the defense and headed home the golden goal. The stadium erupted as South Korea completed one of the most dramatic victories in World Cup history. South Korea became the first Asian nation to reach the World Cup semifinals, inspiring millions across the continent. Although the match remains controversial because of several refereeing decisions, the result itself became one of the most unforgettable upsets in football history. And yet, even this incredible victory would not reach our top 4. Up next is a night when Argentina, one of football's greatest nations, suffered a defeat so convincing that the entire world was left stunned. The World Cup has produced many unforgettable surprises, but sometimes an upset is so dominant that it leaves fans speechless. In 2018, one of football's biggest favorites was completely outplayed on the world's biggest stage. Number 4. Croatia vs. Argentina. 2018, Argentina entered the tournament with enormous expectations. Led by Lionel Messi, many believed they had everything needed to challenge for the World Cup title. Croatia was respected for its talented midfield, but few expected them to completely dominate one of football's greatest nations. The match changed dramatically after a costly mistake by Argentina's goalkeeper allowed Ante Rebic to score. Croatia grew stronger with every attack. Luka Modric added a brilliant second goal before Ivan Rakitic sealed an unforgettable 3-0 victory. Argentina looked helpless as Croatia delivered one of the tournament's most commanding performances. The result shocked football fans around the world. Croatia announced themselves as genuine title contenders and went on to reach their first ever World Cup final. Argentina narrowly survived the group stage, but the heavy defeat exposed weaknesses few had expected to see. Croatia's victory was unforgettable, but 4 years later, another underdog would make history. This time, an entire continent united behind one team as they chased a dream that had never before become reality. Number 3. Morocco vs. Portugal. 2022, Portugal arrived in the quarterfinals with one of the tournament's strongest squads. Morocco had already surprised the world by eliminating Belgium in the group stage and Spain in the round of 16. Even so, many believed Portugal's quality and experience would finally end Morocco's incredible journey. Just before halftime, Yahya Atiat-Allah delivered a perfect cross into the penalty area. Youssef En-Nesyri leaped higher than everyone else and powered a brilliant header into the net. Portugal pushed forward for the rest of the match, but Morocco defended with incredible courage and determination. At the final whistle, history had been made. Morocco became the first African nation ever to reach a FIFA World Cup semi-final. Their fearless performances inspired millions of people around the world and proved that belief, teamwork, and determination could overcome even the strongest opponents. Only 2 matches remain on our countdown. One saw the defending world champions eliminated in the group stage. The other shocked the football world so completely that many still call it the greatest World Cup upset of all time. We've reached the final 2. Every upset so far changed football history, but these last matches stand above the rest. They reminded the world that no matter how strong a team may seem, the FIFA World Cup has a way of creating miracles. Number 2. Japan vs. Germany, 2022. Germany entered the tournament as 4-time world champions and one of the strongest teams in the competition. After taking the lead through Ilkay Gundogan's first-half penalty, everything seemed to be going according to plan. Japan, however, refused to give up. In the final 15 minutes, the match changed completely. Ritsu Doan equalized after a goalkeeping error, sending Japanese supporters into celebration. Then, Takuma Asano burst through the defense and fired an unstoppable shot into the roof of the net. Germany had been stunned. Japan's fearless comeback became one of the greatest surprises of the modern World Cup and helped them finish first in one of the tournament's toughest groups. Number 1. Saudi Arabia vs. Argentina, 2022. Few matches in FIFA World Cup history have shocked the football world as much as this one. Argentina arrived in Qatar as one of the favorites to win the tournament. They were unbeaten in 36 consecutive matches and were led by Lionel Messi, who many believed was destined to lift the World Cup. Everything appeared normal when Messi calmly converted an early penalty to give Argentina the lead. But after halftime, Saudi Arabia produced 15 unforgettable minutes. Salih Al-Shari scored the equalizer with a composed finish. Just moments later, Salim Al-Dawsari curled a spectacular shot into the top corner, leaving the goalkeeper with absolutely no chance. Argentina attacked relentlessly for the remainder of the match, but Saudi Arabia defended with incredible courage until the final whistle. The stadium erupted as one of the greatest upsets in football history became reality. Ironically, Argentina recovered from that defeat and went on to become world champions. That incredible twist makes this match even more unforgettable. A team that shocked the future champions had written its name into World Cup history forever. These unforgettable matches prove why billions of people love the FIFA World Cup. Every tournament begins with favorites expected to dominate, yet history reminds us that passion, teamwork, and determination can overcome even the biggest football giants. From North Korea's stunning victory over Italy in 1966 to Saudi Arabia's unforgettable triumph against Argentina in 2022, these moments continue to inspire football fans across the globe. Now it's your turn. Which World Cup upset do you think deserves to be number 1? Did we miss a match that should have made the list? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more incredible football stories from around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.